Hey guys, what this is the back of a Sunbeam, 1973 Sunbeam Tempus Fugit chiming electric grandfather clock. Looks the same as the one I videoed. This one right here, same kind of clock, except this one has a chime. And I bought it. It was mint in the. It wasn't mint in the original box, but it had the little. The wire was still wrapped up from the factory. This right here had a protective film on it. Actually, it's not actually a film, it's actually a plastic insert which I'm holding on to. I'm holding on to this. Vermont pendulum clock. What it actually is. And it runs, keeps good time when it does work, but it's gummed up. So it was sitting so long, the grease in it has turned to paste. I had to open it up yesterday and I oiled it, and that worked up until today. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put grease, lithium grease in there. It's very simple, even though it looks complicated with the chime, it's actually a very simple thing. The chime shut off, it just pushes this down. So that black spot, it's gonna know which side goes where. With that spring. This is the chiming hammer. And it just all it does do this every half hour. That wheel turns and does that once. Very cheap, but very good, simple way of doing it. So if I try and turn this motor, it's very stiff. It's very stiff. So we're taking out the 3 screws, hold the movement into place. So if you have a magnetic screw grabber like I do, this would be a good spot to use it because of the area. So to that line. It's like a pen. Got the screw. Once it's all the way out, actually, would be nice. Probably a good way to do it. And I dropped it down there. So just take it. Up here on the top are the 3 screws. They're shiny. They're different. They're shiny. Not like the other ones on the outside, which aren't shiny. They have a matte finish on them. This clock never has actually gotten a whole lot of use. It was mint condition, just didn't have the original box, but that was it. It's all new. Everything's all nice and clean. So I'm gonna lube everything up and hopefully that should fix it, and so I don't have to do this again tomorrow. All 3 of the screws are out. Hands are off already. Gently release this whole thing. This whole movement just lifts out. Now we can take this and put it over here for now. Now let's take this movement apart. I'm going to get a Phillips screwdriver. And we're going to, first of all, before we do any of this, this is the cam. I'm going to take that off. It's the pendulum cam. You want to take that off. And I remember the side with the grease on it is the side that faces out. It doesn't matter, but just to play it safe. Now, I'm not taking all this stuff off. That would be a real nightmare to do. So, we're just going to take it apart how it is. It's very simple. A little tricky, but it is simple. Hopefully I'll remember to put the wire back where it belongs so I don't have to untie it and retie it again after I'm done. adjusting the chiming time on these are very simple. I'm going to show you how to do that. Very easy and simple because it's only a simple one chime thing. It's not a complex Westminster type chime. It's just one dong or ding or whatever you want to say every however long, every half hour. I think is what this time's at. So let me just pull this up. Now you're taking the pendulum off. Get the screws. We have done. Now I'm going to get the movement apart. Okay, I got it apart. Let's see everything in here. So, what we're having an issue with is this rotor is stuck. Ew, look at that grease. It's glue, so I'm going to be cleaning that off and cleaning out the bushing, and we will put new grease in there. That should fix the problem. So let me do that. Okay, we got it all cleaned up. We got that bushing cleaned up, that bushing cleaned up, and both sides of this rotor cleaned up. Let's see. It was like glue. And then the oil just made it worse. It just gummed it up. You can see the end of the shaft is nice and clean. It's nice and clean, so yeah, so I'm going to use some of this. I bought this from my local Home Depot for everything $4.50, $5 for this. I've used it and it works good. So I'm going to not spray it directly in there because it will make a mess. I am going to spray it on something and just put it in there with a screwdriver, and I'll show you how to do that. So let me get my little thing I use. There's something, usually like bottle cap or something, just something that you can spray it into. What I use is this. Actually, what this is, for those of you who don't know, it's a crystal plastic clock face for a Mastercrafter's motion clock, and it's an old crappy one. So I just use this, and it's not permanent damage. I can always just clean it off if I decide I need that thing again. You could also do it in the cap of the thing, but that'll make a mess. So I put that little tube on. You don't need a whole lot, just a little motor. That's more than what you're gonna need. Usually don't do that fast, but whatever. I'm gonna take this. Let's see. Some of this. And just put it down in there. It's more than enough. And this isn't that thick, so it won't slow the motor down, hopefully. Well, it won't slow it down, it'll stall the motor. And now we'll take both ends of the shaft and just put a little coating on it. Just don't get it on that little rubber gear, because it could ruin that little gear. And you'll not clean that gear probably without ruining it. And I'm not replacing that gear. That gear only has 20-something hours use on it. It's not that much use it has. Now I'm gonna put this back together, and this is gonna be interesting because this can't come apart. So this is gonna be interesting to do. You should go in like that. This is gonna be a trip. So I don't know. So I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to do something I usually wouldn't. I'm going to assemble it all on this end of the movement, and I'm going to put it on the other side. That's usually the opposite. I usually put everything on this side and just snap this on. But since all this stuff can't come off easily without me removing this set stem, I'm not doing that much. So I'm just going to do it this way. and this might take a while. Also, what you might also want to do is I'm going to put a little bit of this grease also on the second drive gear, which looks like this, on this pivots, which is the second set of pivots, just to keep it, because that is the second fastest moving part. So just put it on the pivots and it should be good. So let me get this together, and once I get it together and screwed together, I'll let you guys know. And keep it like that. If not, you're gonna have to unwire this and retie a knot. Not a big deal, but it just avoids a couple. Saves a little bit of time. So let me get this back together. Okay, I got it all back together. It's actually a lot easier than I expected because of this stuff. It just slid right together. Actually, that's how I might actually start doing it, because that was actually a lot easier than my other way of doing it. I'll try it on one that doesn't have all this extra stuff. Now what we're going to do is you're going to take this, which is your pendulum cam, if you have one. We're going to slide it back onto the gear pinion, to the pinion's output. Just slide it on, it doesn't have to go on that far. That's good. Make sure there's a little gap in between. You can actually push it down a little more. A tiny little gap in between. Don't want that to touch, and make sure it spins easily so it spins freely. What I'm also going to do while I'm in here, I'm going to put a little bit more grease in the movement. I can easily do this. Take a little bit, just put it right on that spring. There we go. Keep things lubed up. Don't get any grease on that little gear, because that could be fatal to that gear. Cause I don't know, I've never tried it, I'm not going to. It could absorb the grease, it could, especially as it starts, this thing's just a little, the gear's a little dried out from sitting, from age. It's fine, it's still pretty rubbery, but when it's brand new, I could say you could do it, because it's gonna be nice and moist per se. I don't know if that's the right term. Rubbery, smooth, but as it dries out, it'll absorb whatever you put on it. And it could weaken it, it could strengthen it. What I'm also going to do is, you see that little pendulum cam right there? Some grease on that. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. Keep things running smooth. Just put it all over it like that, and as it runs, it'll work in. A little bit on the edges right here. Go. And we're going to, pivot seems to be okay, so I'm going to leave that alone. So I'm going to do this. There we go. Now we're going to just put this whole assembly back into the clock, so I'm going to do that, and I'll make another, I'll pause the video and I'll start recording again, obviously, once I get this back in. They want to put the screws back in from the movement, because if you look, they're shiny, but they're also a little shorter than the ones that hold on the back. So, so you want to put the screws back in the right places. Keep them separate if you don't know. Okay, I got the movement back in. And now we're just going to take the chime spring, reconnect it. Here, put it back up, and so that do that test. There we go. So that works. Now, get any grease on anything, just wipe it off. Got a little bit of that white lithium grease on this when I sprayed it, so not a big deal. Just wipe it off with a cloth. Yeah, now we're going to put well, actually, we're not gonna put the back on yet. First, all we're gonna do is we're gonna plug this thing in and see if it actually works. I'll lay it down. If you have any pets like dogs or cats, don't let the fur get in there. If you get any fur in there, just take it off. Now the movement, I spun it, spins a lot better. Let's see. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Nice and quiet. Just hums. It doesn't have any strange vibrations that you could be caused by a grinding motor. The little second wheels spinning in there. Everything seems to be working. So let's get the back on. Then we can put the hands on. That's actually very easy to do if you don't know where the chime thing is, which I have to retime it. And if you look, it's not good for it. Well, it's not bad for it. It does this normally, but if you hit this gear, the auto kick and auto reverse kicks in, and see. And now it's working like it should. That's what it does. That motor starts up backwards. So let me get the back on. And yeah. Helpful tip when you're putting the back on: make sure if you have a chime on it and it's on the on-off, and it has an on-off option, make sure the chime switch is set to on before you put the back on, so that way it's not interfering with anything. If you don't want the chime to be on in your clock, you can always just turn it off. But you don't want to leave it on the on position when you're putting the back on, because it could get jammed in something. Okay, now my clock is almost put back together. What to do is just put the front back on, but I don't know where the hands go, so we just spin make sure the chime is set to on. If yours has a chime, if not, it doesn't matter, you can put them on anyway. Just spin it, the set hand slowly in the direction indicated until it chimes. And say, we'll start at 12 o'clock. There we go. Now we're going to spin that, and if it's not exact, we can just give it a little nudge. I'll show you what to do with that. That's pretty, it's about 30 seconds off, that's okay. Now, get anything in this, just clean it out. So I have to clean this out real quick. Some cleaner. Okay, I just cleaned it with a napkin and some glass cleaner, and we should be set. Now it's time for the big test. Plug it in. Make sure if you don't want the chime on at this point, you can turn it off. If you want it on, you can leave it on. It doesn't matter at this point. Plug it in. It might go back and forth, like the pendulum might just go like that a little bit or if it has a second hand, the second hand might go like that. It might do that for 10 to 15 seconds. That's just the motor starting up. That's normal. But you can see it's working. Feel it, see if there's any abnormal vibrations. Something that's gone kind of in a rhythm, like a yang 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 yang, something like that goes about that speed in a Sunbeam clock. Means that the motor's grinding. That's the speed that the motor spins at. Something that you can count 200 times every minute because the motor spins at 200 RPM. So now looks like it's working. So we're gonna go put it back into its spot and see how it works. Well, here it is. It's all done now. I had to redo it entirely because I forgot to clean the bushings while I had it open. I wiped them out. I did not get the old grease all out, so it was binding again. I took it all apart again. I cleaned it. I put lithium grease in it. It's a little noisy right now, but I'm letting it work in. It's been working flawlessly for at least 6 hours now. Chiming all works. Yeah. And I had two of these clocks. I had this one that chimes, and then the other one over here that doesn't chime. This one's from 1973. The other one's from the 80s. Sometime, I have no idea when. So yeah, anyway. Thanks for watching, and that is how you fix your Sunbeam electric clock. The more common movement in it. Most Sunbeam clocks after 1963 had this design movement, so actually all of them after 1963 had this design movement. There's another design movement that's kind of a telecron design movement that they were using. They're pretty common too, and they are pretty common. I have one actually in that clock. In the video, Another Minute of Your Life has that kind of movement, and that's a whole nother thing. I don't have any of those broken. I only had that one. I will find one that doesn't work, and I'll mess with that eventually. But for now, that's it. Thanks for watching. That's how to lubricate your Sunbeam electric clock post 1963. Thanks for watching.